Today, we will discuss one of the most frequent and harmless sounding questions during the interview that can actually cost you your offer. Let's get right into it. Hi, my name is Matt. I'm an executive search consultant and your career coach at Pinpoint Asia. In this video, I will teach you how to safely answer this common yet tricky question: what are your career goals? First, let's begin by understanding the psychology behind this query. Why do interviewers ask this during the interview? What do they want to know? What they really want to know when asking this question is as follows. Can this role meet the career goals of the candidate within a reasonable amount of time? And will he or she be happy in this role or in this team, in my team? And as a result, will he or she stay in this role long term, or will they leave shortly after? You see, the last thing any employer wants to do is to spend all their time and energy to look for someone, to interview them, and to hire that person, and then to train and invest even more time and effort, only to find that person quit soon after. This is the last thing they want to do. Therefore, if the hiring manager ends up having any doubt about whether the candidate will be interested in this role in the long run, based on the answer to this question, they will likely become quite hesitant to hire the person, or even they may decide against making the offer. And once the motivation is in question, as in once the hiring manager has questions about the motivation of the candidate, it doesn't really matter how qualified you may be or how well you perform during the interview. Once the hiring manager has come to the conclusion that your career goals are not aligned to their role and or their company, there's usually little we can do, or it becomes extremely difficult to change their mind. So many times, more than I'd like to count, I have seen otherwise highly qualified, genuinely interested job seekers answer this question about career goals wrong and end up not receiving the offer. Sometimes after having gone through the entire interview process. All because the potential employer was incorrectly led to believe that they were not genuinely happy with the role in question and that they were actually looking for something else. What I want to do is to make sure that things like this do not happen and that there is no such misunderstanding. Assuming that you are genuinely interested in the job, in the role, and you want the job, that the hiring manager, potential employer, will not think otherwise because of something you say, because of something you communicate during the interview, or the way you answer this question. The key to answering this question correctly or safely is to ensure that you stay away from mentioning anything that this role is not able to provide. Let me say that again. The most important thing to remember or consider when responding to this question is not bringing up anything that this role and or the company is able to give you or do for you. And if you're not sure whether they can or not, then just stay away from it. For example, let's say you're applying to a developer role, and let's assume that for some reason you are kind of interested in becoming a PM sometime in the future, maybe, but you have no idea if the role in question will ever evolve into a project management role or if the team will need a PM in the future. And they ask you, what are your career goals? In such a case, I would not mention project management as one of my career goals. Or let's assume that you're applying to a consultancy company. You like the role, you like the culture, the team, and the projects that you'll be working on. But at the same time, let's assume that you have been considering or thinking about moving to an in-house company for a while, for whatever reason. So, in the future, down the road. In such a case, there is absolutely no reason for you to tell them, the consultancy company, that you are considering an in-house move again sometime in the future. Or maybe you are thinking about moving to a different city or country down the line in the future sometime, which may or may not happen. And if you're not absolutely sure that the company that you're interviewing for is able or willing to relocate you there, then don't tell them that you want to leave the country during the interview. And definitely, I would not talk about changing my team or department or changing my career when I haven't even started in the new role. Because chances are, the employers will just think that you're using them as a temporary measure, or worse yet, a stepping stone, which is like a dirty word to employers, a stepping stone to something else that you really want to do. This is not the time to share all your dreams and all your plans of everything you possibly want to do in your career. Rather, you want to be strategic about your response to this question. Actually, as a matter of fact, you want to be strategic and intentional about every answer and every piece of information you share during the interview. So the safest way to answer this question, if you want this job, is to first talk about your passion and interest in the role you're interviewing for. Clearly communicate beyond any shred of doubt that you are authentically keen on what the role has to offer as of now. And then tell them how you want to grow and progress in this role and in your career, whether it be gaining more responsibilities or being promoted or working on bigger projects, because these kind of growth is something that most companies can provide and are reasonably expected to offer, so it'll not raise any unnecessary flags. Now, as we close, I want to make one thing clear. This is not about tricking people or saying things that are not true just to get the job. Dishonesty doesn't work, and it'll actually work against you in the long run because it deals with your integrity as a person and your professional reputation. If there are certain goals that are non-negotiable for you, that absolutely must, then obviously you need to clearly communicate that during the interview so that you can find the right career opportunity and the company can find the most suitable person. But in the case that you are genuinely interested in the opportunity and you like the job and you want to join the company, this tip can help you minimize needless misunderstanding, which again happens all the time during an interview, and ensure that you are not rejected for the wrong reasons, which are simply not true. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel. We always welcome your comments and questions, and we will do our best to answer them all. So all the best in your upcoming interviews, and see you soon in our next video.